You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit.
Here we are. Welcome to Basement Dad's Pinball Podcast, where we talk everything entertainment. That's books, board games, movies, music, and of course, pinball. My name is Extra Paul, and we've got George here as well. Look at us. We're going to be your host for this episode, so hold on to your banisters, folks, because we got a heck of a show for you. Where's the camera at? I can't even...
That's the camera there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I was like... I have another camera over there, like right in the center, and then we've got the side camera over there.
Yep. I'm sure we're going to get into all of it because we are continuing this episode with our second half of Spike 2, The End of an Era.
Right. And we left off last episode with, it was at COVID, right?
Yeah. So Stranger Things happened and then COVID. And so COVID caused a little bit of a break. Stranger Things came out in December of 2019 by Brian Eddy, and the next game from Stern didn't come out until June of 2020 with Ninja Turtles. So we kind of took a bit of a hiatus as well. Less so than what we normally do,
right, yeah,
as far as hiatuses go. But I don't know. We did have an episode in there with Mike.
Yes, we did. Super fun.
Yeah, we headed down to Chicago to check out the new Star Wars game as well. So that was all a huge blast. Got to do a face-to-face with so many people.
Yes,
including Jeff, right?
Yeah, from Dirty Bull.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to. The PBJ stream is not up to snuff, in my opinion. And one of the first things I want to do is anytime that Jeff raids us or hops on or says something in chat, then Jeff's last name is Dotson.
Okay. Dotson.
We got Dotson here. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Dance Panda, no, you weren't bugging us. I just wanted you to feel free to be able to watch television and not have to be super quiet in the other room without impacting us.
All right. Do we just want to get straight into it? I guess we're only halfway through. We've covered 12 of the 28 Stern Spike 2s.
It's a commitment here.
It is. We should probably just jump right in instead of reminiscing about what's going
Other
on
fun stuff
lately.
Okay, yeah.
The board games and music and other parts of the podcast we never touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, June 2020. So that's about a 6-month hiatus from Stern. Designer John Borg, coding team would be Dwight Sullivan, Dean Grover, and Corey Stupp, along with Mike Vinicore.
Yes.
Did you want to pull up the layout at all?
I'll do it.
Yeah. I think
it was a nice call to like, George, you have a job to do. You can't just sit there.
Sure. This game gets crapped on quite a bit.
It really does.
It's low scoring. It's somewhat brutal. Everybody kind of gets screwed over by the pizza, right? Oh, by the way, status of this game, since we were doing this on the first half, this game is archived.
It is archived, yep.
So never to return.
But you can find this game fairly inexpensive, used pretty much anywhere. The pros go for around $5K. The premiums go for, if they're lucky, $6,500. And the LEs are going for about $8 to $9K.
CNK in chat chiming in here. You mean vaulted? No, actually, I do mean archived. If you look at Stern's website, they do say that this game is archived. So there are 3 different categories for the status of the game from Stern. There is something that on their main page, which means that they are currently producing it. Vaulting it means that they are not currently producing it, but may or may not return to producing it pending interest. And then there is archived, meaning that it is no longer in their roster of being on their production line going forward. So the copies that are out there are the copies that are out there.
Now, has anything that's ever been archived, has it come back out?
This is kind of a newer status listing as of late, maybe within the last 6 months, something like that. But okay, but Stranger Things and Iron Maiden
were archived
before. Yeah.
Now I've got it pulled up here.
There wasn't a vaulted category when Stranger Things and Iron Maiden were vaulted at that. They're archived.
It's a newer
So
designation.
they kind of switched around designations. So Gomez himself has said that anything that is vaulted is eligible to be back into production, but anything archived it's at least implied that it's not coming back. So there was some issues on this game, right? I guess the biggest one would be the feed coming out of the layer shot on
that is so brutal.
Left
so
under flipper
brutal
shot. Yep.
Now, Paul, what happens when the layer feeds to the Borg inlanes over here?
Oh, well, you get borged. Borged meaning that the ball is going to hit that rail that is dividing the 2 inlanes on the left side, and it's just going to bounce out.
So I'm going to describe that really quick. That means hold up the upper left flipper, hit this kind of tough shot, get it to go into the layer.
There's a sticker there, by the way, that you can, if you're watching us here, there's a sticker it kind of looks like a target, right?
Sure.
Sitting behind that's not a target at all.
It's not.
You know what the difference is between you and me?
But
I make this look good.
ultimately, yeah, it's you could hit under the flipper and it can bounce right back out.
Yes, and it does frequently. But if you get it to fall in, then there's a pop up. I don't know, what do you call a pole that like pops up to stop the ball from falling?
Oh, there is a name for it, but for time's sake, since we have 28 pins and we're on number 13 right now.
Sure.
We're just going to call it a stopper.
Good. So
Right.
the stopper pops up, and then it lets it go, and when it falls out of the layer, it hits the middle.
It's an up post.
Outpost. Thank you. Yeah. If the up post holds it, drops it, it hits this little middle bar here on in between your two in lanes, and then it jumps to the out lane. Now, software was eventually changed to allow a small time save to account for this.
Yep.
But the wizard modes were never the wizard modes, and the multi balls don't have that feature. It's disabled in those. So this happens so frequently on so many games, they changed the software, but you still get borged out of what should be a safe shot all the time. And it's incredibly frustrating, especially when you get to the wizard mode. What other prominent features are in this, and why is it hated so much?
Part of it, I think, is that it's a lower scoring game for Stern.
Sure.
You've had at least one, if not two or three copies.
Two.
Sorry.
I had a pro,
okay.
and then I did the premium.
Okay. And you had issues with the ball lock in the van, right? So when
the pro.
when two balls were in the chamber in the van, that third ball would ricochet off of the other two that were sitting in there and reject, right?
So that's what happened on the premium. On the pro, and this was so frustrating because nobody would admit to it. Like, I've come across this so many times, but when the game first came out, the balls lock on a pro underneath the left ramp right here. So when you get two balls in there and you hit the third perfectly, if it hits it, if it doesn't rattle and it goes straight in perfectly, and this can be a really tough shot. So when you nail it, it hits it with so much speed that one of the balls pops out. And it rolls down. So it pops out from underneath this ramp, and it pops out and just rolls down the orbit over here.
Okay.
That was awful.
Other issues on this game, I wouldn't really call them issues necessarily, but the shots weren't exactly in where you'd think they would be. All those shots were like a little late
And
on the
just
flipper?
tight in general, especially
Yeah.
for kind of an 80s kind of kids theme.
Sure. But I mean, any game can be made great, or at least made more fun with how you set it up, right?
Sure.
So as soon as you like tune in the game to where you can backhand both ramps, that's right, both. If you can backhand that left ramp, especially, this game becomes instantly way more fun.
Yes, for sure.
Other things that I'd like to mention on this is this is the last game that Stern released at 1.0 code.
Ooh,
It
good
was
point.
ready to go.
Now,
In theory.
yeah, was do you think that was preparedness, like they nailed it, or do you really think that's because this was the first game released after COVID hit?
I think COVID probably had something to do with it, but I also think that after Turtles, they kind of I think this came more into play once Stern Insider came about, but I want to say this was the beginning of Stern changing gears to where they're like, you know what? We don't need to release at 1.0 code, and we're not sure about how this or that is going to be received.
Sure.
So why don't we just release it unfinished, get the feedback that we need, and then
Use that to drive
direct
to make
the
a better
code,
product.
yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Based off of that. So
How receptive do you feel like the public is to getting less than released version of code when they buy the game?
The public's loud about anything, but ultimately, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm
whether
right there with you.
Public agrees or not. It depends. It always depends on how much code is there.
Sure.
So,
Guardians of the Galaxy, not enough. TMNT, hey, good enough on launch, at least on the code side.
Sure. But I mean, if we're gonna go over to other manufacturers,
Dune.
Recently, I was gonna say Dune. The way it came out was kind of not okay. Just on launch. With where it's at now, it's fantastic.
Now is what it should have launched with. Prior to that, y'all had crashes constantly.
Sure,
You couldn't use it in tournaments. The balls would get lost. All kinds of problems.
This will come up later, though, too. If we're going to stick with Stern on this, which we probably should. Bond.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All kinds of problems there. Now, Paul, I got 2 more questions for you, and then we
Okay.
can jump off TMNT.
Yep.
First of all, this theme, I think, was a dream theme for you. Is that correct?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I grew up with turtles. I have my Ninja Turtles lunchbox that I actually took with me to like first grade. It's got my mom's handwriting on the back of my name.
Yeah.
Thermos is included, of course.
So how excited were you for the release of this?
Oh, I was super pumped. It's also awesome art as well.
It is. Zombie Yeti.
Yes. Unfortunately, the graphics on the LCD don't really match what you
They
see on
do
the
not.
play field.
Yeah.
But the cabinet art, the play field, the translite, it all flows very well together. But once again, I never really saw a reason to go for a premium or an LE on this particular pin. It's the features differences are really not there.
The only real difference that makes an impact, I would say, is this little flyer here.
Yep.
This was a controllable a way to hit the middle button, and you could control if the ball came back to the right or the left flipper.
Yep, and the other difference would be that the balls actually come out of the van, and
Yep.
maybe the pizza spun both ways.
Yeah, it spins multiple directions, I think. I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah. And that messes with you all the time.
I'm just so shocked that they didn't bother to put a target behind that flipper that we were talking about.
I know.
earlier.
It would have made this you know what, you can add it in later. Maybe. I don't
think there's a cutout in the playfield.
No,
for it.
you'd have to put like a piece of fabric or something back there to like deaden the hit so that way
Yeah.
it drops.
You could probably just do foam.
Sure.
But that's gonna wear over time and everything. Ultimately, though, if we want to keep this in line with the first half, we did have a few things we wanted to address on each pin, and maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't. We're not really strictly tied to these things, but this is just what we had written down in front of us for the first half of this. So, what was unique about it? What's your general impression, and how would you rank it for casual, tournament, and progression play?
Okay.
So, I think the only thing that we haven't really covered on this one so far is for casuals, not so great. It looks like a very friendly theme and everything, but no, it's a Borg. It's going to kick your ass. For tournament players, I don't know. I like it okay.
I feel that's because it's a secret pick for you as opposed to like it's a solid game that has multiple ways to score points and it's balanced in terms of scoring.
Yeah, almost too balanced. There's not a whole lot of risk and reward on this game. All of the modes kind of feel they're all very different in regards to the shots that you need to shoot, but the points that you take away from it are all roughly the same. They're pretty much identical.
Now, when you play this for tournament, do you go for modes or are you multi-ball with the forever 2X all day?
multi-ball forever, 2x all day. The majority of your points you're going to find in multi-balls.
Right, and that's going for the Mondo jackpot and then going for the Jackpato Grande with your 2x active.
And you pick Donatello.
To start that multi-ball right away?
Yep.
I did forget Pinjamin pointing out there's a bouncing Krang on the premium that actually is really cool. I love this little bouncing Krang character, but there was also a mod that kind of added a Krang as well.
Yeah, I did forget about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't impact gameplay at all. It's a cool,
it's cool
sculpt and everything. But I mean, I don't know.
Also, awesome
Sculpt
topper.
schmulps.
This had the not Techno Turtle, it was the Technodrome.
Technodrome.
Yeah, the Technodrome topper, which was amazing. I kind of love this game. I just also hate it. It's almost like Ghostbusters for me. It's a love-hate relationship. I really enjoy the progression on it. I do like some of the differences in modes. If you don't care about score, Final Battle is really fun because it's phased. You also have the once you complete 4 modes, you get into the whatever team up, which is kind of cool and awesome. But once again, once you get into Final Battle, which is the wizard mode, in phase 2, it requires you to get to phase 2, you have to hit it to the layer. And there's no ball save once you're in Final Battle for a layer drop to outlane. And that happened to me, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. So many times where I'm in that and I drain out of the wizard mode because of a defect with the layout of the game and how it's set up. And you spent an hour, I feel like, at least trying to resolve that one day and playing with it, and it's not really adjustable.
So ages ago, I had heard Kale from Electric Bat mention this. It might have been back in the day when he was frequently on Pinball Party. I don't quite remember, but he said that there is an anti-Borg mod out there, and I've gone into the weeds a little bit, trying to rediscover what episode I heard him say this on.
Okay.
But I do vaguely remember him saying, like, yeah, it's out there. I don't know what it's called or where to find it or anything like that. But, I mean, isn't that like doesn't everybody want that? If we could find out what mod that is or what you would have to do to, like, anti-Borg lanes and make it the way that Borg designed it so it actually acts like a catcher's mitt?
Sure.
Wouldn't everyone want that? Like, I don't know. It boggles my mind that if that's all true and I'm just not just making it up in my head, I want to know. I want to know how somebody discovered it. I have some theories on how you would physically do it. I don't think it would involve any rubbers, but I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment on. We don't have very many Borgs down at Pinball Jones right now.
You do have still TMNT right now.
We have TMNT and we have Guardians, and then all the rest of the Borgs that we have are on route. So they're all at Chippers North. So we have Tron, Walking Dead, which doesn't have the Borg double inlane, and then Iron Man, which also doesn't have the Borg double inlane. But anyways, progression. Tough as shit. I can count on one hand or one finger, really, how many people I know who have gotten to Cowabunga.
Oh my God, Cowabunga is so tough, especially for the April hurry up. For whatever reason, that becomes impossible to get. You have to focus on just the April hurry up to do it the 5 times necessary to get there.
So maybe go Mikey with that.
Yeah. Raphael, I feel like, is a waste. That like one initial you get into your first mode, just totally not worth it for progression. So I would say Mikey, Donatello really doesn't help, and screw Leonardo. I know Leonardo's there to try and go big on the points with level upgrades, but I've never found it useful.
If your turtles are fully leveled up, which I guess we didn't mention that either, is that
True.
This is this was the first game with a carryover leveling up system as well. From
True.
Dwight.
Yeah, this was like the light version of Venom. Venom has true leveling up to like level 80 or something like that, level 90, and then it wraps
I wanna say
around.
it was 99 even.
And that is the light version of Dungeons and Dragons, which is a full multi-quest system with up to 3 different endings.
Yeah. So, sorry, you mentioned D&D, and the new code came out, and so I was trying to get on that. But that's at the end, guys. That's towards the end.
Yeah.
We can't start talking about D&D just yet. So, yeah, if you're gonna go for score, I would actually say Nick's screw Leonardo for if you're gonna go for points on this. You get a fully leveled up Raphael because you have your 2x scoring is playfield is now 3x playfield. And your modes are also all 3x'd.
Can you do that without being
Or
logged
2x.
in?
The modes are 2x'd instead of... Huh?
Can you do that without being logged in? That's the secondary... Okay.
No. Yeah, you have to log in. You have to go through training, all 4 levels of training on each individual turtle and be logged in while you do it.
Okay.
To get the carryover stuff.
Got it. Okay.
But... so yeah, let's wrap it up on Turtles. That's enough about that. Next game on the list here. So that was Turtles in June of 2020.
Sorry, that was my fault.
It's all good. Next up was our next Keith Elwin game. In September of 2020. It feels like it took forever for Pinball Jones to actually get that game, because I remember running an unofficial, like a non Stern Army launch party for that game. It was one of my first tournaments that I ran there, and I ran it during Easter. Very vividly remember that. But came out in September of 2020, Avengers Infinity Quest by Keith Elwin. Coding team in no particular order here: Brett Z. Rubin, Mike Kizavat, Raymond Davidson, and Rick Nagel.
Okay.
So let's go back to the list here. What's your general impression of Avengers?
No premium or LE. I bought a new inbox premium, and the Marvel ramp really soured me on this game. In addition, the rule set is the base rule set is incredibly simple. The placement of gems is incredibly complicated, and
Ultimately, doesn't matter though either.
It really doesn't matter, and if you can ignore like 50% of the rules on the game and just play it as though you're trying to get to the end sequence and battle what's his name? Not
Thanos.
Thanos, there you go. And battle Thanos, I think it makes sense. Otherwise, I would say Pro is the only version of this game I would ever be interested in playing again.
Real quick, I do want to address chat here. CNK, rest in peace, Turtles. Are these rare now? No, they are not.
No.
I think you can still get them new in box. But the copies that are out there are the copies that are out there. They're not going to be making more of them from the strong impressions that I'm getting from Stern.
Oh, I also want to add, even yet another issue with Turtles is they had a run of Turtles they sold with a really bad playfield printing on them.
Yeah.
I got one of those. It sucked. Joel got one of those. And Stern sent him another playfield, but it wasn't populated. So he just now has a TMNT playfield because nobody actually wants to do a playfield swap. So that also really
I know a
sucked.
few people that actually do want to do playfield swap. But
Sure.
Joel does not.
Yeah.
And I completely understand why. If you don't want to do a playfield swap, you cannot be convinced otherwise. Or shouldn't be convinced otherwise. You gotta have that tool set, really. But enough about Turtles. Avengers here. First impressions for me on Avengers would be that at the time, it was Elwin's best shooter.
I would argue it's still his best shooter. I'm gonna extend upon what you said and be like, this layout is exquisite. It's so fun. I'm gonna say specifically the Pro, by the way. The Pro to me is just beautiful. It is fantastic because the ball doesn't go into the playfield. It doesn't slow the game down. Like, this is genuinely an amazing shooter.
I have much more experience on the Premium. That's what we have at Pinball Jones. But I will add, unfortunately, I wish, let me do one of those high noons. Yeah. I have spent a lot of time getting the Captain Marvel ramp, the horseshoe ramp to work. AIQ Pro is awesome. Is awesome bang for the buck. Wow, I cannot talk tonight. AIQ Pro is awesome bang for the buck. It has a spectacular layout with great flow. I'm so sorry, guys. I will fully agree with that. I'm usually, in almost all circumstances, a Pro guy. I will advocate for the Pro over the Premium or LE. You didn't twist my tongue. I just can't speak tonight. I can read just fine. The words that are coming out of my mouth, though. Who knows? Never feel good playing it. Gem lost. You failed. Yeah. Okay. So that is a great point, CNK. The modes on this are a little untraditional in the fact that, or I guess it's might be a little bit more back to older styles of gameplay, where if you drain out of a mode, you're done with that mode. That mode's gone.
Yep.
Right? So that brings to mind like Walking Dead, for example. So if you drain during a mode on Walking Dead, that scene's over. That mode is done.
Yep.
Move on. So I guess the same thing that you could say for Jaws, though, too. If we're going to fast forward, but that's later on the list here, once again. But yeah, super complex code on this. I thought that the bingo card awards, although like I'm pretty into like rules and stuff like that, so that was something that like immediately spoke to me. But I can totally understand why a new player just doesn't get how the bingo stuff works. Or, okay, I need to make a row or a diagonal or a column or whatever. But what's my reward type of thing? You're going to have to look in the info screen.
Yeah. Yep.
To find out what it is at any given time. But, I think this is also kind of a new toy. From Stern that we hadn't seen before with the disc.
So yeah, disc that raises. Well, sort of, kind of reminds me of what's the circus themed one? The Crazy Circus. It doesn't have a spinner on top, but
Circus Voltaire.
Yeah, Circus Voltaire. It comes up and it eats the ball.
Sure.
So this is kind of like a combination of those two mechs.
Right, but since you were saying that you're such an advocate of the Pro on this, the Pro doesn't raise up like that.
Right, so it's just a spinner
just
like
a
Totan or something.
Yep. Yeah, so very much like Totan, but from Stern, I don't think we had seen this before, even with their older games.
No, good point.
From White Star and Sam era days.
Now, what about the vertical physical ball lock with the magnet?
Oh, that's also pretty freaking cool.
That's
as
cool.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's the layout on it is what excels on the game. It was the code that everybody was just lost in the weeds on. Everybody was like, "This is too much," and it was overwhelming for most people.
Yep.
So wait, on the Benjamin is also saying here that you don't actually ever accidentally start a mode. a gem
Right,
mode
right.
as well on your pro, which is arguably preferable. So on the premium, you would hit under the disc after it raises up after you get so many spins to spell strange. On the pro version, you would have to hit that big fat banana ramp on the right side.
Yep.
As well. But are you a ramps or a spinners guy, George, if you had to choose?
Probably spinners.
Well, we're looking at Avengers, so I feel like you're biased right now. But in general, you'd say spinners?
Yeah, I think so. In fact, I wasn't in my mind. I was thinking of the cool spinner sound from Stranger Things, like, and how much I love that left orbit. That's a spinner that then goes up to the ramp and comes back. So if I could have both at the same time, if I could have my cake and eat it, I prefer that the most. But I do really love the ripping a spinner. In fact, before I got into older pinball machines, I didn't really understand why Rip the Spinner was such a thing in Iron Maiden. But then going and actually playing a decent amount on games like Stars really learned that, like, a juiced spinner that is lit is so satisfying when you finally hit it.
For sure.
And then to get that same sensation coming back then to Avengers and Iron Maiden and others, where you get the Hulk lit spinner here with the really cool sound, that's satisfying when you hit it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about spinners, but you can. This game tried to make the fanciest ramp in the world to replace the spinner, and I still prefer the spinner. Even though, like, the one that the copy that we have at Pinball Jones, I got that horseshoe ramp working very, very well. Mm-hmm. But still, and it is cool. Like, it's not, a complete dud by any means, but I'd much rather have a spinner. Like, even if the return on it's more dangerous or whatever, I just like ripping spinners.
I love this idea of the ramp. In the same way that, like, I had an issue with Batman 66 that took forever to find. If I spend like 2 months playing a game where I'm trying to make progression happen or do something, and the game fails me in a way that I can't fix easily, like if it's a weird electrical issue trying to figure out, or like Rush is another really good one where the ramp died due to node board 10 failing, and I waited 12 weeks for Stern to put out a spare. Like, they just didn't have them for 12 weeks. That leaves this weird lasting impression. And this ramp, the Marvel ramp, did that to me. I finally got the little part that you replace. It's a piece of plastic up here that makes it so much more reliable.
Yeah, you can get a 3D printed version of it.
Yeah, and I still hated the game no matter what afterwards. There was like nothing anyone could do or say, and I couldn't even get myself to play the pro for a year. I feel like, because I was so frustrated by how many times I had hit this shot perfectly. It hit something up here on the metal, came straight back down the middle, and died on me after a fantastic 30-minute session. Because the game forces you to hit the Marvel shot at several different points throughout the game. And once again, same thing with TMNT. When you're forced to hit a shot and that shot fails you consistently and you're cheated out of the rest of the game, I end up just hating the game as a result.
All right, so do you want me to put my tech hat on real quick?
Put your tech hat on. Do it.
All right. So if you have you at home, if you have a premium or an LE version of this game and your Captain Marvel horseshoe ramp isn't working quite right, here's what I did to get ours working pretty well. First off, you're going to have to manipulate a lot of metal here. So first off, I manipulated the ball guides on mainly the left side of the ramp.
Yep,
if you're
this side,
watching
right?
us, well, closer to the playfield though, actually.
Oh, this.
So I wanted to make the entrance to that shot a lot more narrow. The reason being is that if that shot does not have the velocity that it needs to make the ramp, I want it to be like because it's got to be a very clean shot to make that ramp in the first place, regardless. Okay, so if it's not the cleanest shot, well, I want it to reject immediately. I don't want it to half ramp and then kill you.
Right. Okay.
I want it to reject off of the mouth of the entrance to that shot.
Okay.
And reject very quickly, and get you back into the flow of the rest of the game. And by doing so, it's not going to feed halfway up the ramp and then react off of the right ball guide straight down the middle.
Okay.
As well. So that's the first thing I did. The other thing is a little trick you can do, I guess, where you bend so your mouse is pretty much on it. You can see a nut in the back there. That's fixing the whole wire form, the ball guide, to the rest of the ramp, I guess, right there.
Sure, yeah.
So if you remove the ramp and just bend that part where the nut is attached to and bend it up a little bit.
Okay.
When you fasten your nut all the way down, that's going to pull the entire wire form back further. So
right. So you create a little gap here so it doesn't hit this and immediately reject.
So essentially the ramp isn't so vertical anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so it doesn't have to fight gravity so much. And to the player, it's not going to look any different either.
Sure.
So you're essentially still getting the satisfaction of like, holy crap, I just hit the ball like straight up, and it went through this whole horseshoe wire form thing to make the ramp. That felt pretty good. I feel pretty good at pinball right now just because I did that one ramp.
Right, and I can't stress enough, y'all. Paul's version of this game at Pinball Jones does play great. The Marvel ramp is really consistent. I'm not saying it never rejects, but it plays super consistent. The game can be brutal, of course, at times, but listen to this advice, because if you still have a premium and you're struggling with the Marvel ramp, if you can get it to work like Paul's at Pinball Jones, you're really going to appreciate it a lot more.
But ultimately, trade it for a pro.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what else sucks is it was an 8. I don't know how much a premium cost at that time, but because of these issues, yet to sour it even more, it's another game that took a big loss, kind of like Turtles right now.
Yeah.
You can get this game really cheap because the rules are too complicated, and the premium especially you can find at $6,500. We've seen it at $6,000. Think about that. Like a premium going for less than a pro version of a standard game.
All right, so that's a lot of physical stuff that we've mentioned as far as what was unique about it, or kind of just what was the, I guess, ambiance around the game when it initially came out. But I want to say that, like, through interviews over time that you can search through any much better podcasters than ourselves for interviews with Keith Elwin. This is one of the few games where he wasn't like so adamant on his code. He of course had a lot to do with it, but he's on record saying that like the direction that the rules and code went all became about the gems, and his main focus when he had the rules in his mind was to assemble the Avengers.
Right.
So the direction shifted quite a bit, and I think that was mainly just due to the times with it being COVID, and this game might have been bumped up before it was really necessarily like fully fleshed out what they wanted to do. I don't quite remember what was going on, but yeah, it's just because of the weird ass times of it being in like the heart of COVID when it was released is why Keith has much more of a hold of the reins for how the rules are going to go.
Sure.
On any of his other games compared to this one.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense, and that it really does kind of it creates a story that matches with my expectations on, or that's consistent with every other game that I feel like Keith has. But whatever. Sometimes I know I bitch about the complexity of this game, and I whined about it a lot when it first came out. Okay,
sure.
There are also a lot of people out there who love this game, and let's just stick with the pro, who love the pro version of this game, who think it's amazing, who love how complicated and capable the rule set is. So I'm very happy to be in a minority here at this point, if it's really come along and people enjoy how in depth you can get or how little you can care about placing the gems. So I just want to add that I'm even whining now years later about this game, and it's okay. Not every game has to be designed for me.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Ultimately, like, this isn't my go-to. I don't think this is. I think there's a very small amount of people that this is their go-to Elwyn game, but they're also freaking great, man. Like, they're not.
Right.
Is there a bad Elwyn? Jurassic Park, maybe.
What? All right, cool. We are 51 minutes in, and we've made it through 2 of the 18
Great,
more games
cool.
or whatever we have to go through.
All right, so we're gonna even just in the interest of time, we're gonna skip on how we're ranking it for casual, et cetera, et cetera. Next game on the list here. So that was September 2020 for Avengers. Next game came out in December of 2020. So we're back on the steady roll here, and of course it was a banger by Steve Ritchie, Led Zeppelin. Right?
Was it a banger?
Right? Everybody loved that one.
It's been archived. I feel
it has been archived it was very quickly archived, but we did have Dean Grover, Raymond Davidson, and Tim Sexton on the coding team. I have very little time on this game. Maybe I've played a pro once. It's usually the premium that I come across because I don't think anybody bought the pro because it's just such empty.
it's kind of empty. It's already a game that has a lot of shots just on the back side of the game, especially on the right side. It honestly, the chat is has some strong opinions about Led Zeppelin at this point. Stars into Dreams says it was dog shit, and Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite bands of all time. PB Pinball says Led Zeppelin is the worst modern Stern, in my opinion. Such a boring shooter.
Yeah, I think, this is back-to-back Raymond Davidson games, right?
I don't know. So this would have been Tim Sexton on lead. Raymond Davidson was involved. I wouldn't call it a Raymond Davidson game.
Yeah. No, at this time, I don't know what... I think the first game that Raymond was lead on was actually Metallica Remastered.
Correct, yes.
Right, so that was very, very recent. So all of these are, but he's heavily involved, and he has ideas, and I don't think they're bad ideas. Okay,
sure.
In Raymond's defense here, I don't think his ideas are bad. I think the way that they're conveyed to the player, it's a little cloudy. This era in time, we're back in 2020 right now. Okay,
sure. Okay.
This isn't Raymond, the Raymond that you know today. He's evolved over time.
Sure.
But it was back. I remember hearing a lot just through any pinball social media stuff. Oh, well, it's all right there. You just have to look up at the LCD screen.
I remember hearing that a lot as well. That also happens on Rush. There's a lot happening on the Rush screen, and it's just not a high enough quality and large enough screen to capture. Like you literally just can't read.
I think there's some very cool rules to this game, but the way that they're conveyed to the player on knowing what to do and how is pretty murky.
I also PB Pinball, I feel like nailed it. This is, to me, every time I've played this to me is not a fun shooter.
Yeah.
I've never really enjoyed myself, and even the most insane code, I think, would have had a hard time saving this layout.
Yeah, and I think the bomb also hurt it as well. I think no, with what we know about Steve Ritchie, he wanted to throw everything in the. He always wanted to make the best game ever with every game that he made, and I think you can say that about any particular designer, but it felt like Steve maybe wasn't as aware of the bill of materials as much, or at least in his relationship with Stern.
Sure. It still blows my mind that you can get a designer like Keith Elwin in there to do all of his games, and none of them are barren. Like, there's so much happening in every single one of his games. Even take something like Jurassic Park, which, its toy is if you take out the moving T-Rex, the toy is just the not a Jeep that switches from one side to the other. That's it. And that playfield, at no point is somebody looking at that playfield saying that's BS. There's nothing on this playfield. And they have to have had a similar bomb, I imagine, to work with.
It just all goes back to, I mean, I've heard this repeated on a lot of podcasts as well. So I'm just going to be a broken record here and say that Gomez says to his designers, because since he's in charge of the design teams at Stern, do less with more.
Right.
How can you do less with more? That's kind of the goal.
There might be some real Led Zeppelin fans out there. Are you a Led Zeppelin fan, Paul?
Yeah, I like the band all right. It's not, I'm not just, oh man, I haven't heard Stairway this week. That's not something that I ever say.
Sure.
But,
so
I don't hate the band whatsoever.
Okay. What do you think of, and maybe I need someone a little bit more into Led Zeppelin, but this artwork for the LE and the blue armor got shat upon.
I will shit upon it as well. It clashes, man.
It does. I kind of like it.
You like it.
I do like it. And it's red and blue, right? Which are complementary colors, and you would expect those two to go together. But what I don't like is how Stern, after this game, when they went with contrasting armor, went the complete opposite direction. I feel like with their LEs, where they started doing kind of muted armor. I hate the dark green armor on Jurassic Park, and I hate that the LE armor on Rush was black.
Well, you could say the same thing about King Kong.
Sure.
King
and
Kong
I don't
was
like
also
King Kong
black.
having black armor.
Sure.
I want the armor to look
should not
pretty.
have black armor, and King Kong is surprisingly colorful. It's almost too much so.
Right.
It's hard to stream it, dude.
I love this game. Like, this is very
with
quick.
your setup and your cameras, it's fine. But
Yeah,
for us low lives out there, it's kind of tough.
So I don't think I liked Led Zeppelin, the artwork, like the LE when it came out, but I found that I really started to appreciate this and Iron Maiden over time. Iron Maiden's another one. It's like red and green are the colors. Like, it felt very Christmas, but I got to have an LE Iron Maiden in-house from Man Adams for 3 months, and I kind of fell in love with that entire game. Like, it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. And I started thinking the same thing about Led Zeppelin, except I never want to. I just don't want to own this game. Like, I don't want to be forced to have to play it.
It's, for me, if we're talking about art on this game, then the premium is the way to go. Blimp or die.
Okay. Cool. So I haven't spent enough time on this game. I've probably put about 20 games on it total because
I can't really speak too much on it either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So general, it's just a like big thumbs down, like so much to the point where neither of us have ever actively tried to play it.
Well, I guess the other thing is that if you do find a good, a premium out in the wild, there's a fair to good chance that it's going to be busted, man.
Oh.
That center toy, it's got a spinner and a magnet all in there, and it's a sort of an ironmonger type mech that raises up from the bottom of the playfield. It all sounds very cool and also very complicated for one device that has a lot of things that can go wrong with it.
I do want to point out, I watched Laserlos play this game a lot.
Yeah.
And you see Laserlos when he probably spent an entire month on this. Razor, thank you so much for rating with 6 beautiful viewers. If you're just joining us, y'all, this is Paul. I'm George. And we're running a live stream podcast. Occasionally we jump back into chat. I've got most everything normally that we have running turned off right now, except for notifications on things like raids. So we'll be mostly continuing what we're trying to do right now, which is to finish going through Spike 2 games from Stern one by one, as it's the end of an era. Spike 3 just came out.
12 or 13 left.
12 or 13 left. We're not going to make it through the rest of them tonight. We definitely have a part 3 coming. Because we're incredibly opinionated about these games and we have so many things we want to say. We're finishing up Led Zeppelin, and I totally lost my train of thought as to what I was saying.
Laserlos play a shit ton of this.
Yeah, so Laserlos played this game nonstop, I feel like, for a month. In fact, I think it was the first time I saw the stream pay to have him shave his head live on stream was like in between games on Led Zeppelin. I have seen somebody play this game and abuse its rules to maximum effect, and I still have zero interest to ever play this game myself.
Oh, if I find one on location, I feel like there's such a rare find.
Sure.
I'll put quarters in it. Yeah,
okay.
For sure. Will I know what I'm doing? Like, no.
No. Yeah.
No, not at all. But you bring up a great point about how we should be moving on. So Led Zeppelin came out in December of 2020. The next game, here's a big gap. Or no, it's actually not that big of a gap. Next game to come out was in May of 2021.
Ooh, 5 months.
Yeah. The Mandalorian, Brian Eddy.
Ooh, I'm excited to talk about this one. I think it's archived, though.
No,
it's not.
It is vaulted. It is vaulted. So there's an increased chance, especially with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out soon, as of the date of this podcast, for them to bring it back into production potentially. But coding team would be no particular order here, or in alphabetical order, I should say. Corey Stupp, Dean Grover, Dwight Sullivan, and Mike Kizivat. Mando, first impressions, George. Or general impressions.
First general impression. All right, bring out the hate, y'all. I actually love this game. But I don't like the pro version. This is one of the few games where I would say the LE is mandatory in order to enjoy yourself while playing it. I dig the not only the premium and LE, I had both a pro and I eventually sold it and then bought a premium, fell in love with the premium, I beat the game, and then eventually I think I'd love to own an LE with the Beskar armor. I think it's beautiful. I love the Mandalorian series. I think I'm kind of excited at this point. I've given up on Star Wars mostly from Disney, but not because of the Mandalorian, because of all the other crap they put out. But I love this game. I love the layout. I love so much about it, and I think it is a pleasure to play. And I love Dwight's code. There you go. I said it. Done. Paul, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so you're a progression player, right?
Yes, for certain.
Okay. Well, I'm a tournament player. And I think there's so many things going right, but they're only in one direction on this. They're all geared towards progression. So once again, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6x playfield multiplier.
7x, but yeah.
6x.
You are... Hi, MPT3K. You are right. It's... Wait, how do I get a... I know I've gotten 7x on this.
I don't think you have.
Huh.
You're
right.
You might be confusing that with Mando, but what's the fucking difference between a 6x and a 7x playfield?
I think you're right.
Is the point here? And sure, that's fun to try and like. That's kind of what I play for. Instead of going through the modes and stuff, we have a pro version at Pinball Jones. So we don't have the tilting head, but once again, like there's only one flipper up there. But I like to try and make the game in the way that I think that the designer like intended it to be. So I made the feed to the single upper flipper on the pro version consistent or as consistent as possible to where it would feed to a lifted flipper. Sure. On our copy.
Yeah. I honestly, once again, Paul, in general, there's all kinds of problems with pinball machines, but Pinball Jones, and you specifically, you get all these games working as well as they possibly can. As I imagine Stern wanted them all to work, despite the fact that when you get them, I feel like Pinball Jones in particular has really awful luck with games that y'all get. You've had warp play fields. Nothing works when it gets delivered. Like, you guys always have some of the worst luck, but you get it there. And that a big part of that, or a big reason for that, is you. You personally get every one of these games functioning to a place where you can pull them into tournaments, and people walk away thinking, God damn, this pro version of the game plays amazing. I want the pro version. And you know what sucks is when they buy it, it's not going to be the same for them.
Oh, when the people at home buy it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, totally.
If they go buy a pro, with the exception of Pinjamin, who thinks the pro rocks, everyone else has probably experienced the fact that the pro's just not fun.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this game could also be brutal as well.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, for Brian Eddy, this is kind of, well, I guess he had Stranger Things before this. So take your pick on what's more brutal, Stranger Things or Mandalorian. I would say people argue that Stranger Things
I would also say Stranger Things.
Brutal. This is the center Lorian, where you can just repeat the center ramp.
You can, but all right, here's the flippers, and then here's a stand-up, a thing you hit, a stand-up, a stand-up, a stand-up, and then you got these shots on the sides here. There's a lot of opportunity to miss a shot you're going for and immediately drain.
No, the coding on this game will encourage you to shoot the stand-up targets to the left and right a lot. And that's good coding. Is, you know, if you're trying to make a game that's shorter, you know, so that people drop more coins into it, right? That's a good coding design from that aspect of it. The game does very well on telling you what to do. It is highly unbalanced. Highly unbalanced. It ends up feeling very wood choppy, because to make major progress through the progression, you have to do the same thing again and again and again. And the things that are not that are unique about it are typically glanced over. They're skipped. So we're talking about ambush here.
Yep.
Ambush, I've played through Ambush. Ambush is actually pretty freaking cool. It's also like too high risk reward. The risk is way too high for the reward on that mode. If you don't finish it completely, you get nothing.
Yes. And if you do finish it completely, was it 750 million or $1 billion that IE Pinball got it up to?
Sure, but that's also a hurry up. So it all depends on how quickly you've got that very final shot.
BA and complete it in order to get that.
And so you're the laundry list of things that Dwight is asking you, the player, to do is the risk is so high. Sure, the reward is high, but it's not worth the risk. And it's unfamiliar to a lot of players, to where they just skip over it. So all of the work that Dwight put into designing this awesome mini wizard mode of Ambush is not.
It's usually skipped over.
It's a book he wrote that nobody read.
Yeah. Yep. I want to add a couple things here. First of all, Carl Weathers does the call outs which is epic. It's so cool to have Carl Weathers do that as Grief Karga. What else? Also on the premium. So I know Pinjamin is talking all of the benefits of the Pro, but I kind of want to take the Pro out of the picture because it's so when the premium has a magnet up here, Pinjamin. Thank you. And I say that just for the fun of it. Obviously, there's benefits to the Pro, but the premium offers a magnet that operates so much like the upper playfield in Twilight Zone. You, with the flippers, can control the magnet and get it to keep popping around in this upper area to get and play with it to try and get it to fall down the letter that you need. And some of these letters that offer you some pretty big bonuses if you can do that. That is number one. Number two, oh my God, the encounters are all of the wood choppiness you were just talking about, Paul.
Yes.
And this upper playfield, when it also provides you the fact that it moves, and the first level is relatively easy. The second level is you have to lock it in place, and the third one's constantly moving. Like, even though it's still wood choppy, it adds something else. It's an X factor to it, which makes it feel a little bit less wood choppy. That said, code would have resolved the wood choppiness there on that upper playfield. It feels kind of like you're forced to do it, but you really don't want to. Also,
that's how I feel about the multi-balls too, though.
Right, like you're forced to go through and you just want to get to the next multi-ball, but then you got to do that whole hurry-up situation, which, once again, feels like maybe a bit of a shortcoming on the code. I'm going to get there. There's also this shot here.
Oh, yeah, that diverter's really cool.
It's so cool.
If there's one thing I could take from the premium and put it into a Pro, it's actually that. It has nothing to do with the helmet.
Right. It's awesome when that thing drops and it turns a loop shot that feeds nicely to your right flipper to a shot that feeds beautifully to your left flipper. Like, it's cool. I really, really enjoy that. I don't know why it feels so Star Wars to me when it happens. And also, there is an animated Grogu mod, which is incredibly difficult to install. But Grogu just moves around. That's all I need. Kind of like I don't want in Jurassic Park the T-Rex head to reach down and grab the ball because it ruins everything every time it fails. I just want its head to move around and like I want it to do cool things but not actually interact with the game, and the mod for Grogu does exactly that. It just moves around. Fliptronic went through, not only figured it out, but installed it and created a video, I think, on how to install it. And it's perfect. It's just Grogu kind of like moving around with, I think, eyes that open and close. That's all I need in the back left corner. That was, to me, the only thing really missing was a slightly animated Grogu.
All right, so real quick here, we got Manu popping off in chat here. So first off, he says, I feel Dwight knows that the ambush mode that I was talking about earlier is a high risk reward. It's also not mandatory for the game, and it's all on purpose. My response to that is I agree with everything that you're saying there. The problem that I have with it is that it's not incentivizing me or anyone else to do it.
Sure. Got to pause for a second. We just had two fantastic events trigger at the same time.
Okay.
First of all, Irish Luck coming in, throwing their primer our direction. Irish Luck, thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. My hat's off to you. Also, Living Arcade rating with 8 beautiful individuals. Y'all, if you're just joining, I'm George. This is Paul behind me. We have a podcast called Basement Dad's Pinball Podcast. And tonight we're recording part 2 of what is likely to be a 3 or potentially even a 4-part podcast.
This is not going fast
It's
enough.
not going fast. But
We covered 12 out of 28 pins. We're doing the Spike 2s, guys. So, 12 pins was of episode 1. We started on pin number 13, and now we're on 16 of 28. So, hi. Hi, Living Arcade. I do want to address the other thing here. I haven't fully read it yet. That Manu said. Can you scroll up just a touch?
oh, yeah, I got to go over
Smidge.
to your screen. Oh,
Manu is saying it always irks him when people say
code as opposed to...
well, no, code will just fix it.
Y'all mean the rules will fix it.
Oh, okay.
It's a semantic difference, and I can't agree with that because I work as a developer and I refer to the stuff I write as code.
I gotcha. It's almost like saying
but I understand
game design, right?
Because what you're talking about is like the rules, which can exist outside of how it's implemented via code. But I'm okay just calling it code at this point. I get it. Even more so, you can say there's a base operating system, or there's firmware that acts as like an SDK to the physical hardware of the machine, and then you have a set of code that sits on top of that implements the rule sets that are designed by the rule people. And on top of that, once again, I'm like talking myself into Manu's way of thinking here, but like there are rule people that operate at Stern, at Spooky, used to operate at American Pinball and operate at JJP that know nothing about code. They just design the rule sets of the game, then developers implement it.
MXV, not a coder.
Right?
Is
exactly.
Redoing is completely revamping the rules. Not code, rules for X-Men and for John Wick, right?
Yes, exactly. But not a developer
No.
with skills to implement code in an efficient way that optimizes memory usage and things like that to make those codes, that those rules a reality with code. So I completely understand Manu's distinction. I'm still going to call it code in the same way that I still pronounce it verse instead of verses.
Well, that was a great little segue into the semantics of game theory, George.
Oh my God. There's too much context around game theory. I feel like to dive into that. Unless you really want to.
No, I'm purposefully irking George right now.
Oh yeah. No, that was good. So, no, screw it. Let's do it. So,
okay.
Paul brings up a podcast. What was the podcast?
Oh, that was Pin Pals with Serge and Kale.
Okay, so Serge talked about game theory as though it has to do with like the theory of video game development, and that's not what game theory is. Now, game theory sounds like it has to do with video game development, but it's not. Game theory is like something that spies become proficient in or get a degree in. Game theory is something taught at an academic level. It's a branch of applied mathematics and framework for understanding strategic interactions between interdependent rational decision makers or players. It involves analyzing situations where the outcome for each player depends on the choices made by all involved players, and its applications extend from economics and politics to biology and computer science, helping to predict behavior in situations ranging from business negotiations and arms races to finding a lost phone. It's not... Game theory sounds like it has to do with video games, but that's not what it means at all. And we got into a great conversation about whether or not the gaming community could just like
hijack that.
Yeah, hijack that word
we
to
call
mean
it code. So
yeah, no. Well said, well done. I feel properly put down. I'm now calling it.
At the same time, though,
rules instead of code.
On the episode that they like released yesterday, I made a comment on their YouTube about it, saying another banger.
Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball.
Another banger, but Serge should probably stop calling it game theory, though.
Thank you.
That's a Harvard college course, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Because I just keep waiting for the part where we're going to cover the Nash equilibrium.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
Okay.
It's what Google said.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So I get it now.
It has 0 likes.
I'm done.
That comment has 0 likes.
I'm sold. I can now call, I'm calling it rules instead of code. And every time it comes up, I'm now going to differentiate perfectly between those two. And I was joking about versus, which was the most fun statement I have accidentally said tonight. I do now every time I go to say versus, I think verse and then have to correct myself and say actually out loud versus because of MPT3K. So thank you for that.
All right. Going back to, we did such a great job on the first half of this of keeping it tight.
Right.
So I think we said what was kind of unique about it. general impressions. How would you rank it for casual players? I think it's okay.
I think it's okay as well. It's Mandalorian, man.
Just shoot the center ramp all day. You'll do shit.
Yeah.
Okay. For tournament players,
nobody on the tournament side likes this.
Okay.
Now, I for like a day had Escher rethinking this game, but ultimately it's like, nope, it still sucks. But like for a day,
because it's 7x or die.
It really is 7x or die.
Or sorry, 6x or die.
Well, there was a 7x. I think if you get to this is the way, you get a permanent increase and then it becomes a 7x. But that isn't what I was referencing. So 6x it is.
Good fucking luck. All right, so for progression, have you beaten the game? I think
I have beaten this game.
Yeah, I think it's
on the
doable.
premium, and on top of that, the rules, not code, I just did it. The rules on this game for progression are top notch. I think this is, in terms of progression, is only second to Rush for maybe the most fun experience in beating a game ever. I love the mini wizard modes. They're unique. They're super fun. And I think that the missions are super not memorable. None of the 5 missions I can point to and say, like, that one was particularly fun. But the mini wizard modes are super fun, and this is the way is enjoyable. Got there, completed it, did it, and I sold the game within 6 hours afterwards. Like, I didn't need to have it after that.
Yeah, I feel like at this point in time, we're in a bit of a spot where modes just aren't memorable on a lot of these Stern games.
A lot. Just wait for Rush. Wait for Rush.
In the way that they were on, like, Walking Dead, per se. Because Walking Dead's modes were all very unique. They scored quite differently from one another. On, like, how you had to hit the shot. You know, okay, for Barn, I just repeat it all day. Okay, for CDC, every time I hit the ramp, it lights another shot. And then I want to hit all of those other shots, and then I want to collect at the CDC.
Okay.
Right? For Riot, I just want to hit the Riot all day kind of thing. So it's, you know, some of them are samey, but none of them are identical.
Sure. Yeah.
To one another. With any of these other modes, it's just shoot the flashing lights, and they all feel very samey.
Yes. But the mini wizard mode's not the case. That's where it gets fun
and
unique.
Yeah, the game really does shine in the mini wizard modes. But are your casuals getting there?
No, absolutely not. But I do think the theme's good enough for casuals. For us to say it's good for casuals, bad for tournament, and if you can get progression to the mini wizard modes, I think it gets really fun.
Okay. So I guess I meant to do this at the top of the episode, but I think now is if I'm going to go back and try and do this, now's the time. We're moving on from Mandalorian. So the next game, that was May of 2021. The next game to come out was in September of 2021. But before we get there, it is let's just do a revamp of everything that we've had so far.
All right.
This is number 17, Spike 2. Before this, we had Batman 66, Aerosmith, Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Maiden, Deadpool, The Beatles, The Munsters, Black Knight Sword of Rage, Jurassic Park, Elvira's House of Horrors, Stranger Things, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Avengers, Infinity Quest, Led Zeppelin, The Mandalorian, Godzilla.
We're on Godzilla?
We're on Godzilla. Dude.
Okay. It's
First
loading.
impression, or general impression.
You go first, because I have a weird take on this.
Yeah, you have a very weird take on this. I don't get it. It's so fucking good, dude. It's amazing. It's a dynamic layout. Not a fan. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get a fan. Listen, people have different takes on what a fan is. In my opinion, if it's got a more than 2 flippers, it's not a fan.
Sure.
Okay, but this is a very dynamic layout. Okay, you have what a reason to buy a premium.
Yep.
Okay, I'm a pro guy through and through, and we have a pro at Pinball Jones that I love, but I I would still say like I'm very much on the fence for this one on a pro versus premium, and I know people are going to disagree with me about that, and I understand their disagreements with me about that because there's a lot of reasons to get a premium on this game.
Sure.
You have a weird spinner target rampy thingy that spins around into a tummy magnet. Come on.
Yep.
You have a bridge that breaks.
Yep.
You have a building that sinks down.
Yep. And changes the ball path when it does.
Yeah, and changes the ball path. Yeah. I mean, I think I just summed up all the differences, but
I think that's it.
that's okay. But still, those are like doing a lot with just a little bit.
Also, I want to point out this is the first time I came across. This is the first LE I purchased new in box.
Okay.
And the artwork on the side is like a foily Magic the Gathering card. And that was very unexpected for me.
Is this the first one with foil?
That I don't know if it's the first one with foil, but it
it's
blew
probably
my mind when I got it. And wow, is this artwork awesome. And what's so tough for me is this came out the same year as what was the spooky game that was in the same universe? It was Halloween and Ultraman.
Ultraman, yeah.
Ultraman also had some of the best pinball artwork ever. Not a great game, but the artwork was absolutely top notch.
Oh, sorry. Side note, George here. I can't read fresh chat right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
It's all good. It happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the game flows very, very well.
It's number one on Pinside. Like,
yeah,
it's that for a reason.
And I think the reason that it is it's mainly because it's not particularly punishing as far as layout is concerned. And the rules are like nothing we had ever seen before at this point. There's so many things going on in the background. Like that, this is the common thing that you'll hear people talk about to this day about this game is that no matter what you do, you are progressing towards something. No matter what you hit on it. It might not be the thing that you're necessarily wanting, but George has some hot takes on this game. He's not with the majority of us on this. So I'm more curious I'm just going to regurgitate what everybody's already like gushed about this game. I like it. Okay, I think that I can just leave it there. Anything else that if you want to see why I like it, listen to other people who have stated it better than I can right now.
I struggle with this game. As far as I can tell, I don't think there's anything technically wrong with it. This isn't an Avengers where it has a flaw in one of the designs that has a reject. This isn't a TMNT where there's a flaw in the game that made me hate it. There was nothing wrong with this game. It worked perfectly every single time I played it. I just can't, in the layout, anticipate where the hell the ball is going to go. I have to play this game for 45 minutes before I can figure out, I can begin to anticipate where the ball is going to go when I make certain shots. Like,
okay, so it's the feeds. It's not the shots themselves,
it's
right?
Sometimes that like I hit, what do I hit? I hit around this corner and I missed this loop and instead hit this one. It shoots out, bounces off of this, goes back, hits this, and then goes right down the middle or right down the side. Or I get a perfect loop. I don't remember how exactly to loop around the back corner. And it drops out and hits this little top and then bounces down the right orbit.
Okay. You probably, on a pro version, you might have hit the right spinner and that'll send it around there.
Sure.
And hit the top.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you hit this and then it comes down and then it goes down the right out lane.
The sling and then, it kind of got into a dangerous spot on you.
And this is just me. Okay. Okay, I know it's just me,
Yeah.
but I can't hit the right ramp ever. Like I struggle in every version of this game to hit the right ramp. I can hit the left ramp, and I know that's dumb. It's a tight shot.
No, I was the same way for a very, very long time.
They totally missed the Toho mark. I think, Wolfman, you needed to take the out of that. They totally missed Toho the mark, except for the display. Oh, I'm not such a major super fan that I'm bothered by it. I love the artwork on this. I love how busy it is. I enjoy the rule set. I enjoy every moment this game creates because it creates moments. I just find myself frustrated by the shots and the layout of the playfield. And the rules do feel maybe a little cumbersome. Like I do feel like I'm playing the same game over and over again every single time I play it.
I love how green he is.
Right, he should be
They
gray
didn't upset
and muted.
anyone. Yeah. No. Okay. Like with our discussing it before, we got on the mic here. You just don't like the way the game shoots, and I
Yeah.
always understood that to mean that you. It was something about the flow, or just being able to find the shots in a similar way to the way Turtle shoots is where it like transferred in my mind, where it like you kind of the same way you're having trouble finding the right ramp, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, it flips from the left flipper at a percentage down the flipper that my mind is incapable of ever doing consistently.
So, Carl D'Angelo has run 3 different Pin Clash. George and I have played in 2 of them separately. George, you were in the very first one with Jurassic Park.
Yes.
We both skipped on Avengers. And then I played in Godzilla. And everybody who was like, that's a streamer's tournament. If you're not familiar with Pin Clash, that's a streamer's tournament. So everybody is playing their individual copies of Godzilla, whether it's a pro or a premium. I think there were some like just general rules about how the game could be pitched, but
Sure.
you could have the precision flippers in the game. It didn't matter. Okay. It wasn't super strict, but you did have to have cameras on it, and you did have to be streaming.
Yes.
And everybody else that was streaming the game is like, oh, yeah, you do this and that as far as like the strategy goes while I was trying to get a good score on Godzilla here. And they're like, oh, yeah, and the right ramp is just the right ramp. And I was like, fuck you, the right ramp's the right ramp. I can't hit that shit for anything. Like, I have way easier of a time with the left ramp.
Yep.
And maybe that was our copy. Who knows? But maybe it's flip. Like I've been delving into flipper power a lot lately.
Okay.
And too much makes the game hard.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe it was that. Who knows? But the right ramp is deceptively hard. In both George's and my experience on this. For him, it's a negative. For me, it's just a part of the game. I don't know.
So I do want to throw out something here because is it going to play?
What, the 70th?
Dude, the 70th is the coolest version, I think, of any pinball machine ever. And it really sucks that it didn't come up just then. Because I want to show... Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you can just get pictures of it.
Yeah.
That's all people want anyways.
That... Even though I get frustrated by this game, the 70th version is probably the single most epic version of any Stern machine I've ever seen.
Yeah,
this is the machine to own.
I will take it back. You do not get a premium. You get a 70th.
You get the 70th. This is so cool. Yeah, CNK. I'm sorry. I'm showing for anyone on the podcast. I'm showing pictures to everyone on the stream. This'll turn into it. It's a vodcast, let's say.
Yeah. I don't know. We could also figure it out. Other people have put videos on
Sure.
We're a growing podcast. We've been around for probably over 2 years now.
It's got to be close. I think we started in Expo. It was our first episode was a post 2023 Expo.
Oh, was that it?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, this version of the game is beautiful. I don't want to play it, but I want to own this version of the game just to have it.
Have beaten it myself.
You have? Interesting.
Yes. I was like one shot away from like 100% completion on it. So I beat Planet X, but I went to all the different cities.
Wait, did you do King of the Monsters though?
This might have been pre King of the Monsters code.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But I have played King of the Monsters through the, just
The direct play.
skip to, the direct play. But yeah, I beat all the monsters except for, like individually, except for Megalon by one single shot.
Okay.
But yeah, this is my warm-up game. This is my go-to warm-up game. If I'm like trying to, it's league tonight. I've been working all day, just working on pinball machines all day, but not playing. Like, how do I get in the zone? It's Godzilla.
So I want to point out that what sucks is normally I would say the pro version of this game or most Stern games are the way to go. This pro version is awesome. Yeah. It is not a bad, this is a great version of the game. It's just not the premium version, which is even better. And it's also not the 70th anniversary edition, which is just insane.
Yeah. I mean, my whole argument about pros is if you're going to get any game, then why you're not going to find what's the price difference between a pro and a premium? Roughly $3,000.
Yeah, pretty close, I think, at this point.
Okay. It's not going to equal $3,000
of more
fun. Yeah.
Except on the 70th anniversary edition. Would you say that you'd have $3,000 more fun on this version?
Yes, it looks miraculously different. Well, I mean, from an arcade standpoint, if I'm gonna go the other route, I can't speak as a collector, a homeowning collector, right?
Okay.
Because I don't get these Spike 2s as a homeowning collector. I do older games. I do classic games.
Yeah.
For my home collection. But from an arcade standpoint, this is gonna stand out, and this is already the better version of the two games. I already said I was on the fence. If I'm on the fence on a pro versus premium, that means it's a premium,
right?
Because I'm pretty stubborn about that position.
Pros.
So if I consider a premium at all, it means that they did it the premium justice. It's good. So yeah, this is it's going to stand out in any lineup. It's just it might make you $3,000 worth of coin faster. So
Ferret Fawcett, this is Godzilla, and that's a perfect segue, Paul, into it stands out. You said so. How does this work out for casual players then, in your opinion?
It's an instant bang. I don't know. When the game first came out, everybody's like, "Oh, it's such a dead IP. Nobody cares about a Godzilla." It's the top game on Pinside.
It is number one.
Yeah, King of the Monsters, man. It's old. It's campy. It's got the old school footage, from the movies in there. It's exactly what you want it to be. And like I said before, anything that you are doing on the game is progressing you towards something. So for casuals, it's fantastic. For tournament players, it's fantastic. For progression,
I think it's still fantastic.
I
gave it crap.
Fantastic, man. It's ticking all of the boxes. And,
it does.
And it's honestly, how did they do it? It's lightning in a bottle, man. I don't. It hasn't been really recreated in the same way.
Now, isn't this a long playing game for tournament games?
Can be. Yeah.
Okay.
Can be.
That could be problematic. I feel like
It's no King Kong.
So King Kong, Godzilla, like some of these games, the people start to groan when it becomes the last game being chosen in a tournament, because you put 4 good players on this and they're probably playing Godzilla for an hour, and suddenly the bar's having to stay open later than normal. Nobody's going home before 2 a.m. kind of a situation.
I don't know. You could almost put any Spike 2 on that list, though.
The Walking Dead?
At the same time. That's not a Spike 2.
Oh, true. Yeah. It's a good point.
Iron Maiden would be an exception. Stranger Things would be an exception. Mando might be an exception as well. But Foo Fighters, long player. Elvira's House of Horrors, long player.
Yep. There's a lot of long players in Spike 2. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of long players. When did bars start closing before 2 a.m.? So Pinball Jones is a rec room with the bar in it. I think by the city we are classified as classified. We're a rec center with alcohol. So yeah, we because we're a rec center with alcohol, we have to close at 11 on most nights. I guess latest is like midnight closing.
Sure.
So not a typical bar, but yeah. I don't know. Who wants to be playing a tournament at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, though?
No. Yeah, I don't.
And when did your tournament start?
Yeah, probably 10 o'clock in the morning. You end up going till 2. You've been playing nothing but pinball for 14 hours straight, 16 hours straight.
Nobody wants it. Yeah. At that point in the night, and you drew Godzilla, and you know it's going to be, and you're playing like ZMAC, and
Yeah.
like, I mean, for us, that at least was a
Was a
potential
concern.
draw.
Yeah.
Depending on the tournament. But yeah. All right.
What's
Enough
up
gushing
next?
on Godzilla. We got to move on here. We all know it's good. You don't like it for your reasons.
Yeah. But I would still own the hell out of a 70th anniversary edition. That's so
yeah,
pretty.
you don't hate it. It's just not.
It's not my.
It's no Mandalorian.
Right. I said, I get that was a joke. I'm just agreeing with you, sir.
Okay. All right. So Stern just released Godzilla in September of 2021. It's now January of 2022. What are they going to follow that up with, George? Oh, it's Rush
Yes.
by John Borg on coding team in no particular order here. It sounds very much a partnership between Raymond Davidson and Tim Sexton.
All right. I'm opening these up.
And this is vaulted.
No, Wolfman, we're not ranking these. We're just going through them.
Yeah, we're just basically doing general impressions. What was unique about the game? We're just reminiscing on all of the Spike 2s that we've had, and I won't say lost. They're still out there. But anything that you guys have to chime in on this? Benjamin saying, such a great rule set.
Yes.
Amazing rule set.
All right, Paul, what are your first, what's your overall thoughts on Rush?
I'm not like in love with the theme. It's for me, it's just another band pin. I don't hate Rush. I know some people do. That's always the joke. It's like, oh yeah, it shoots great. But it's just Rush. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd rather be shooting X-Men, the original.
The original X-Men. Yeah.
I don't know. This is lower on my list of my personal rankings of the game, of all of the Spike 2s. I really liked the original code with how the records multiplier stuff worked.
Sure.
And then they completely got rid of that.
Sure. Wait, did they get rid of the record multiplier?
Yeah.
I don't think they did.
I heard like a year or so ago that they did.
I think it's depending. You get the records you need, and then any more records after that of the same color, I think, increase the multiplier. Like you get 120%
I know
of mocha.
exactly what you're talking about. I think that's all gone.
Oh. Can anyone confirm, Benjamin? Do you still have do you still have a Rush? Rush is great if you're from Canada. Chip Dancer also welcome. Okay, so overall, this is low for you.
Yeah, it's lower on my list.
I love this layout on X-Men. I actually was really excited for the band. I think Rush is great pinball music.
Oh, I'm not like a super fan, and I don't hate them.
Okay,
so I'm like right in the middle.
Sure. To me, though, like I had come from owning Iron Maiden, and I'm like, oh my god, this is horrific. Please get this music off of I would turn off the music immediately because I didn't want to have to listen to that. As opposed to Rush, I'm like, I could listen to some Rush. Like I was genuinely excited to have something that I didn't immediately want to turn off.
All right, Benjamin responded.
Yeah.
To the question here.
Same color record before mode start boosts mode scoring, if that's what you're talking about. Okay, so they did not remove that.
Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about then. I think I heard it from Tom. Damn you, Tom.
Damn Tom. All right.
But I very easily could have been confused if I, because I don't have a copy to like play and just reference the things that I'm hearing off of. So that kind of confusion will happen if you don't have this in front of you and we're talking about any one of these things. Like, I don't know. We didn't have a whole lot to say about Beatles, for example.
No.
Right? Or Led Zeppelin.
This game, though, I've played the hell out of it. And this is the most fun I've ever had playing modes and progression and getting to 2112. This to me is in my opinion, is the pinnacle of rules and code and how much fun you can have, how somebody could take a knowledge about the songs and work with the band to create something, a unique mode every single time you play. Like Working Man are these orange shots and your goal is to check out at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And every shot is either worth 20 minutes or 40 minutes of time, right? Limelight, you're in the limelight. It's a green light color. And I can't honestly remember that one. And I haven't played this in 2 years.
We had I remember streaming this with you, and we had a coloring sequence.
There is a coloring sequence to go with each. Yeah.
So Working Man was orange because it reminded me of those orange cones, aka pylons.
Yeah, exactly. The orange cones. Yeah.
Limelight was green.
Tom Sawyer rode down a river, so Tom Sawyer was blue.
Right, but there were two different blues.
There is. The other one was the spirit of the radio was the other blue.
I want to say Tom Sawyer was like a deeper blue.
Yeah.
And the spirit of the radio was a lighter blue, a spirity blue.
And then, of course, Big Money was... and all of these modes, not only at different colors, they were their own unique mini games. They were entirely unique every single time as to how they were done.
Big Money was the weird one. It was pink.
Yeah, it was pink.
Like a pimp.
And you had certain shots on the playfield lit pink. And then when at any point, you could make it through that mode in like 6 shots, super easy. Hit a shot, hit the middle shot, middle. Or you could hit all of the shots and you'd carry a multiplier. I think you would upgrade the jackpot, but the number of shots you did was a multiplier towards the next big jackpot payoff, and you had to complete 3 jackpots. But there was a good amount of points in Big Money if you actually went for all of the shots every time.
So I think it's easy to say that both. So I'm for me, this isn't like a complete win, but I think it's mainly because I just don't have enough time on it. George has a ton of time on it and loves it.
I do.
But despite our different experiences, I think we can both agree that this is Ray Day's breakout role
Absolutely.
as a coder.
Yes, for sure. It also helped as I was playing this game. I literally had Ray Day in chat helping me understand the rules as to why things were happening and providing guidance and suggestions. Yeah.
I mean, people are going to have the same experience with Eric Minier on Godfather.
For sure.
For example. But that doesn't mean that this is that by any means. But no, I think it was always there. Like it was with it's really a kind of a good sign when your debut on a coding team is deemed as too much. Like let's dial it back.
Sure.
Right? I think that's a great sign. If it missed the mark, you want it to be like, oh shoot, like can you like you're at I need you at a 10.
Yeah. You're at a 15. Let's dial it back a little bit. So there's some really cool things about this game. Back behind these drop targets on the LE, it traps the ball. There's an up pole or whatever Paul called that. I can't remember what it's called. And it turns it into a captive ball. I love that. I love when the game turns it into a captive ball. Rush did it. Avatar, the Stern version did it. Dune does it. I just like that mechanic. So it did that, and you had to make it through drop targets to get there. The shot through the pops is really tight and kind of scary, and it can kill you going straight down the middle. Also, this shot just to the left of the right ramp, very similar to X-Men, and this is a very similar layout to X-Men, is a tough shot as well. Everything else is pretty easy. I'm going to point out two major issues that made Rush a bit of a failure to launch, which was how many games, especially the on the LEs and premiums, because this ramp goes up and down, had a board that was fried due to a software issue, and they didn't have parts ready. I waited. This game sat dormant for 12 weeks at my house, waiting for the part to show up. That was frustrating. In addition, this inner loop, the ball there, it is a what's it called? It's an optic that catches it, and that optic is not consistent enough, and it was a major issue because the ball, I think, ends up airborne if you loop it a few times, and you stop getting credit for it. So you had to put in a piece of plastic to keep the ball down closer to to trip the optic. And that's necessary later in the game to loop this shot.
By the way.
Sorry?
It's an opto sensor.
Opto, thank you. This shot is necessary to progress later in the game, and it was only after I put in the plastic in my LE that I finally was able to get to 2112. It was impossible for me to finish this game when it was only registering 1 out of every 5 loops. So those two issues were problematic. The big one is front and center, in my opinion. This sucks. This makes me not want to own this game. And I sold it, and I don't want to own this game again. Like, this artwork is awful. And I know it's what the band wanted, but sometimes artists who are really good at music aren't good at the whole art thing, and they shouldn't be listened to because this is... I feel like this is a drawing that my 12-year-old kid could have done when she draws all of her Roblox characters. It looks kind of like this. It's not good, and it's front and center, and you're forced to watch it every single time you play it. It's that bad.
I remember us having a similar discussion about my feelings on the original artwork for Metallica and how I didn't feel like
Sure, yeah.
The Dirty Donnie art portrayed the band very well, but your argument at the time was, but that's what the band wanted.
Okay, maybe I said that's what the band wanted. But I love that style of art. I love really busy
Some people
cartoon
do.
comic artwork.
But for me, when I look at Dirty Donnie art, I think like punk Americana. And when I hear Metallica, I don't think punk Americana.
Okay,
that is
okay,
not
yeah.
punk music. But I digress. That none of that has anything to do with Rush. It's just a similar feeling about this is what the band wanted for art style, and it didn't hit for you in the same way that Metallica didn't hit for me.
Let's just zoom in really quick.
Yeah.
Look at that, just awful face right here in the center, and I'm just not a fan. And this really ruined it for me.
Listen, to me, it doesn't ruin it for me. It looks like just Rush rolled into town in their band van, and what's painted on the side of their band van? Oh, it's that right there. It looks like carny art.
Yeah, okay, I'd go with carnival artwork. Everything else on this game, especially the LE, I'm gonna scroll up really quick. It has a steampunk theme on the LE. There is nothing that I don't like about the artwork everywhere, but the giant centerpiece right in the middle of the playfield that isn't steampunk. It's not anything. It's just so disappointing is what it is. Like, I want a sticker with better artwork. In fact, I want Zombie Yeti to do a sticker that you can overlay on top of this, and then I would consider potentially owning a Rush again.
But you would keep the owl at the bottom?
The owl is amazing. I love that. On top of that, I mean, come on, as basement dads who end every podcast with a dad joke, it says hoot again. That's great.
I think this is might be the first of a trend from board games that have your ball save light being eyes.
Oh, got it. Right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, and that's something that he has definitely done since then.
Not the first. I think the first was Guardians.
The owl looks like a Furby. I feel like this picture doesn't do it justice. Maybe I also just didn't look at the owl.
I don't think it looks like a fur. Well, it kind of does.
Oh, once again, steampunk. Look, the owl's got cool stuff coming off the edge with gears. Maybe it's not so much steampunk. Maybe it's gear punk. I love the aesthetics, except the faces in the center. It destroys it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Any more about Rush?
Do we want to talk about casual, tournament, and progression?
I don't feel like I can speak too much on that.
Okay.
I don't know. The people that I feel like I'm in the minority on not liking this game as much as I do.
Okay.
The people who like it really freaking like it is kind of what it comes down to.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. For casual players, I don't think this is a huge draw. I don't think Rush is a big enough band unless, of course, you're from Canada.
Yeah.
If you're from Canada, this is a hoot. Boom. Oh yeah, Benjamin agreeing. Rush is out for casuals. For tournament, I think there's so many different ways to play this game. I think this is okay for tournaments at the very least, but I don't feel competent enough in tournament play to really weigh in heavily. And in terms of progression, this is knocked out of the park. I think this is the most fun progression I've ever had.
Yeah, I guess to speak on to reiterate the point, yeah, it is out for casuals. I want to say this is one of the first games, one of maybe 3 that Ray Day did, where he did Baby's first pinball tutorial explanation.
Yes.
Which actually was super informative. It explained a lot, and I really liked them. But the whole Baby's first thing was like, oh, you can't figure this out. Like that's why I did this and that. But it's not. I don't know. There's some step in the bridge that's not like making it so apparent or very clear to players in the way that a lot of other games are.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that is just because, at least in the earlier days, he was like, well, just look up at the screen. And for me, that's, I had mentioned that earlier in this episode. Look up at the screen is sacrilege to me for pinball.
Sure. It took me a while to get to a place.
Yeah, pinball for me means that everything that I need to know, maybe it's displayed a little bit clearer on the display, but everything that I need to know in some form or another should be apparent to me on the play field itself with the lights and inserts.
I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree there. I think as games progress, I would love it if there was enough inserts and playfields like area to make that the case.
It doesn't have to be perfectly spelled out to me.
Okay.
But like, oh, this light is now blinking faster than it was. It was blinking before, but now it's blinking faster, which means that this is now
What's the
happening.
significance there? Yeah.
Yeah. So in some form, I need it to be all on the playfield. I need to have a reason not look at the LCD.
So there's a couple things I want to add there, and this may come into play later as well for some of the newer games. But there's a fantastic book having to do with web design called "Don't Make Me Think," and it has to do with understanding that you're going to lose, like by introducing a new concept or changing something, if it's not intuitive, if people don't naturally figure it out, you're going to lose customers as a result. And a part of Rush, like the fact that there's a video to understand how lighting the records works, and I get it now. Once I figured it out, it does make a lot of sense, but keep in mind, if it's not intuitive enough, you're going to lose some of your base, having to do with the fact that you're trying to do something outside the standard of how everyone who plays pinball would naturally try and progress or do something, right? Like, there's no question on Jurassic Park that you have to hit the white shots to spell map, and when map's lit, you hit the left ramp. Actually, that's maybe a bad example because Jurassic Park is famously kind of hard to figure out initially, but there's no question on the light color and flashing versus solid and fast flashing versus slow flashing. Like, there's not a lot going on there. You hit the lit shots.
I think for me, Jurassic Park is a perfect example because I wasn't immediately drawn to the game because of the truck toy. Okay.
The Not a Jeep.
The Not a Jeep toy. Okay. So you want to the Not a Jeep will direct your path down the map, right?
Yeah.
But I was always looking at the thing that's on the playfield, which is the Mutant toy ball that moves from side to side. So when people would say, well, if you want to go down the left side of the map, you need to make sure that your truck is faced to the left. So I would want to me, just hearing this, in a crowded bar arcade, trying to figure this out, I would always put my captive ball, my Mutant toy ball, on the left side of the static captive ball,
which the truck
is now faced to the right.
Face to the right,
and so it would never work. And I was like, well, I just don't get it.
Yep.
And I was, for that reason, I wasn't drawn to the game.
Sure. I've heard from so many people who jumped in because Jurassic Park is rated so highly, and it's one of the first or second games they own. It's a great game to own later as you've progressed as a player, I think, but it's really, but not a first game for sure. And bringing this back to Rush, I don't know that this is a great first game for anyone. Like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that you have to figure out by watching the LCD. It is another complicated rule set, but it wasn't so complicated that it wasn't figure outable. It wasn't intuitive. I do think I was able to make sense of things and able to make progression, even if you don't understand the color coding of the records, you can still get modes started and progress. And the game gives you hints constantly on what's happening by either looking at the LCD or listening as things are called out.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do at least. If we do one more, we gotta do two more.
Oh no! If we
Yeah.
do one more, we have to do two more.
Yeah,
Is that because it's 007 and 60th?
that's right.
Okay.
I mean, this 60s, they'll probably go quick. I don't have much to say on it.
I don't have much, but I have put probably about 30 games on the 60th.
Okay.
I guess we'll start there. Hold on.
I guess that's a little out of order. We've been chronological so far. So, Rush came out January of 2022. James Bond 007. George and I actually recorded a whole episode on this twice because we didn't record, and I don't think we ever aired it.
George didn't record it the first time.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, came out in October of 2022. Designer George Gomez, coding team Lonnie D. Ropp and Mike Vinicor. Second game here, no surprise. 60th anniversary edition, January of 2023, with Keith Elwin on design. Coding team is Mike Panacho.
Okay. I'm not familiar with Mike.
He's not a recurring name in this list.
Okay.
Or sorry, Mark Panacho. I said Mike, it's Mark.
Okay.
Apologies, Mark.
Now, have you had the opportunity to play Bond 60th?
I have.
Okay.
It's strictly been at Dory Hill, I think. So not very much. We're talking about a pin golf camp out weekend. So the game was probably always on 5-ball play. But I mean, I liked the way it shot. I liked the way the multi-balls start. I like inline drop targets. I'm just always a huge fan of inline drop targets. Wherever you find them, there's 4 spinners on the game. There's no. You took away my ramps and you replaced them with more spinners.
Yep.
I love you.
Also, you got the art package on this one for Bond 60th with like all the movies on it between both sides. You have a spinning reel for scoring.
A sexy one too.
Yeah.
I own an EM machine. I like classic games. This scoring reel system is unreal. It's so fast. It doesn't look like it's an actual it's almost to a fault because it looks like they could have just done a LCD display and made the game a lot lighter and used way fewer parts but once you know that it's actual, I wish there was just larger windows so you could actually physically see the scoring reels through the windows and they weren't such tiny little boxes to see the numbers. But because those reels, they just know exactly where to go and when, and it's sexy. The reels themselves are fucking sexy.
They're awesome. Yeah. There's only one issue I feel like with this game, and that's the fact that it was 20,000 when it came out?
Yeah.
It was a $20,000 game.
The game's not worth
no
that
RAM.
much, guys.
It's really not.
It never has been.
It sells now for anywhere from 10 to 12,000, and even that feels obscene for this game.
I can see that. Well, I think that's respectable.
It's better than 20.
Pricing, if somebody down the line had purchased it for 20, and we're already at I don't know what year did I say that was?
2022.
23. Beginning of 2023. Practically 2022. So the fact that we're already down, this much on it is good sign, I guess. But also, isn't it fairly limited?
It is. There's only 500 that were created.
Awesome. I like that number.
Yeah, there's one for sale in Denver right now at 12,000, and this would definitely be. It's high on my list of like forever games I'd love to own in my personal collection. It's super fun to shoot. The rule set on it is a lot of fun. I love the fact that it's all of the James Bonds. I'm not even a big James Bond fan, but this is it's such a great game. Like I have no complaints except for the cost on this.
I think it's worth a 12 grand. I would buy it for 12 grand.
Okay.
Yeah, from 3 years ago at 20, hell yeah, dude. Like this costs less than it's a banger IP. It's the theme that, like, here's where Stern screwed up with these two James Bond games. This game that we're looking at right now, Bond 60th, should have been themed to Sean Connery during those the single level era games. And the cornerstone should have had all of the Bonds in them.
Yeah, this licensor was incredibly difficult to work with based on so many interviews.
I think I heard an interview with Gomez, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we probably should have flip-flopped the themes." So I think it might have been. This might have been one of those. This licensor was incredibly difficult to work with. I don't want to discredit you on that.
Yeah.
But I think this might have been one of those small circumstances where Stern might have had a choice on it. And just with everything else going on with the nightmare of the restrictions, might have just, it got lost in translation somewhere.
Okay.
Right. But so because like the fault that we have with, we're about to put up our James Bond premium up for sale at Pinball Jones.
Okay.
Not because it's a bad game. We like the game a lot. Aiden, the owner of Pinball Jones, is very much in love with the rule set of the game. It just doesn't make money, and the reason that is because of the translate.
Okay.
The translate says you only live twice, and kids don't know what the fuck that is.
They don't know that it's 007.
They don't. It says 007 on the cabinet down at the bottom. No, we don't have a topper. We're not topper people.
Ah, yep.
Okay.
I was about to say that the topper definitely
We're
would
not
sell
buying
it.
a topper.
Yeah.
We're just not.
Is there even room for a topper?
If we put it on one particular wall down there, then sure. But we're not buying a topper. We will, like, before we sell it, I'm going to tell him, like, get this alternate translate that exists that says 007 on it and see how it does.
Right. That's what Manu was saying at Free Gold Watch. It still sounds like it still doesn't make money for them.
Yeah. Yeah, people, that's the biggest problem with it, is that people just don't know what the fuck Thunderball is. People don't know what Dr. No is.
Right. So, last couple of questions here on that. Do you think it's good for casual on Bond 60th?
Yeah, I can't say one way or another, honestly. I don't have enough time on the game to really put forth a valid opinion, but at first glance, I would say yeah.
Okay.
It's doesn't have any ramps. It seems like fairly straightforward rule set. Like there's no display on the back glass. It's just reels, right?
Right.
There is a display on the play field, but
sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's to me, like, Bond 60th is a group game. That's a game that you would be like, oh, okay, I was playing a few games of Godzilla on my own, and now a couple of my friends just walked into the arcade, and they're kind of newer at pinball or whatever. What do we all want to play together? Let's go play some Bond 60th.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good group, like a good equalizer game, right?
And Bond 60th comes with the topper, and it says 007 on the back glass. There you go. And Manu is saying their Bond 60th gets played a ton, has shorter ball times, and it's right next to TNA.
Yeah. It all sounds great, man. Like, yeah, for the longest time, it was just the price tag on it was just so
20,000
absurd that everybody in my area just scoffed at it.
Yep. So you've got it for casual, for tournament players. I assume that's a big yes on tournament because it's a newer EM style game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, any classics style game.
Yep.
I would say, this is about Spike 2s, but TNA, right, is probably, I would say that's a good tournament game.
Sure.
Right?
I think so. I mean, as long as the game continues playing.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're living in a perfect world here.
Yeah.
But that's a good point.
For TNA specifically, I was making that reference.
Right. No. That is an excellent point to make. That shouldn't be discredited at all because, like, Big Lebowski, for example, if it malfunctions, then it's now officially a bad tournament game. Because now you got to start over on something else, and
right,
the whole thing's getting hung up. But it's. I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh, so last one would then be progression, which I think falls short. It's not. I don't think that game is meant for progression. It's an EM, and it's all about finding different ways to eke out more points.
Sure. Yeah. It's about smaller accomplishment. It's a small picture, not big picture. So you want to rip the 4 spinners, and that's, from what I've heard on the game, that's one of your bigger accomplishments.
Sure.
To do on a Bond 60th.
Also shorter ball times, so great for tournament play. Just to throw that in there, when you have 4 amazing players who will play that game very quickly. I am going to go grab a water really quick.
Okay.
And this is part 2, and this is our last game for tonight. It is 007, the Cornerstone. Do you want to walk us through this?
Sure. We have a pro and a premium. Not a ton of differences between the pro and the premium at first glance, I would say. So you have the Bond on a wand with the premium, which means you also have an extra target from on top of the dragon tank. You have a clear playfield area under your upper flipper, which will allow you to see underwater, see a sculpt of Bond fighting a scuba henchman. But none of that really, I guess that most recent stuff I mentioned doesn't affect gameplay too much. The Bond on a wand does a little bit, but not a ton. The part that does affect gameplay a lot is those physical ball locks.
Yep.
And in a much bigger way than what you would think of. You got a lot of stopping the ball on a premium, and on a pro, there's no stopping.
No stopping. Yeah, that you hit that lock shot and it comes rocketing back at you.
Yeah. You also have a swipeable feature. This is an MXV feature that first appeared in Stranger Things Premium, where if you had a ball locked on the telekinesis lock, you could bring a locked ball into a different multi-ball, swiping a ball over from one locked ball for one multi-ball into a different multi-ball.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So this is one of the few games where I don't turn on virtual locks because of that feature. Because it's just kind of cool. So you can lock a ball into bird 1 and then start jetpack and then use that locked ball, your bird 1 ball lock, as an add-a-ball during your jetpack.
Huh. Okay.
The price you pay for that, though, is that you
lose the
now
ball
no
lock?
longer you no longer have any balls locked. But it's a thing you can do. But the swipeable feature is not as important as the physical ball lock stretcher itself. Right? Because that stops the ball. I get to plunge again. I get to make yet another skill shot.
Sure.
For yet another smart missile. And the Pro I don't have a ton of time on a Pro, but that's because I don't have a ton of time on a Pro, meaning that the ball times are short as shit. It's like, by comparison, anyways.
Yeah, I'm guessing the only time you played a Pro was over here, since y'all have a premium.
Lions a little bit too.
Okay.
I think Lions has a Pro version as well. Yeah, a lot faster playing, a lot more brutal in a way. The tournament director in me wants the Pro. The overall, I'm glad we have the premium though, because I'm certain that we would have sold the Pro by now if we had a Pro to begin with instead of a premium. Okay.
What's your overall thoughts on Bond?
It has come a long way. I
Sure.
enjoy it a lot. It's like you'll hear me gripe about huge ass multipliers on this game. This game does it right though. That loop is hard to hit.
That is. So here you light your Bond girls.
In each one of them in completely different ways too, right?
Sure. So there's 7 different Bond girls that are lit 7 different ways, and you have to hit, after it's lit, then you have to hit the orbit to qualify it before you can activate using the button down here at the bottom, which flashes pink. So it's something you want to save up for to use when you have your 5, 6, or 7X. And on top of that, you any of these that you've qualified, so not lit but qualified, you lose on a ball drain. So it's kind of a what's the mechanic where it's
wait, hold on. So lit means that it's like, let's take the first one. What's her Honey Rider?
Sure.
Okay, you get her by hitting pop bumpers, right?
Yeah, so you hit pop bumpers and she's flashing, I think.
Okay, so you would call that lit.
Yeah, so it's
right?
lit. Now you need to qualify Honey Rider.
And then so as soon as I hit the loop, now she's qualified.
Yep.
And if I drain before I hit the button,
you lose.
Then she's gone.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that.
Yeah, I love that too.
I love that
it does
it's such
not
a
carry over.
It does and it doesn't. It's a push it if you want. There's a massive there's a phrase that describes, push it, but at your but you could potentially lose it and get nothing and have focused all your time on the multiplier. Like it, I forget what that general phrase is for it, but I love that that's how the multipliers work in this, even though it's a 7x. What is it?
Push it.
Oh, push it. Nice. Also, Chip Dancer, risk versus reward is what I was thinking of, but it's push your luck and risk versus reward both. Push it real good, says PB Pinball. But yeah, it's risk versus reward on a multiplier, and oh my god, when it pays off. When you use it in that mini wizard mode that pops up, the James Bond mini wizard mode, and you activate your 7X and you hit your jackpot and you collect like 500 million points, It's amazing. It feels awesome.
No, George and I ripped this game apart on an original podcast.
Yes.
That we never aired. To my knowledge, we never aired it.
I don't think we did.
Okay. But we recorded it twice. So we ripped it apart twice. And now that it's fully developed, right? We're at least at 1.0 code. I don't think they're working on it anymore. There's no new updates.
No.
Coming out. All of the different modes are super unique. All of the different villain modes are unique. All of the different henchman modes are unique. All of the Spectre weapons are unique.
Right.
All of the wizard modes are unique.
Yes.
Like it's in all of the Q branch modes are unique.
Yes.
How can you? That's 6 times. That's 24.
No. We counted it out. There are 33 different modes you have to complete to get to the ultimate wizard mode.
That's like it boggles my mind how unique all that stuff is. And come to think of it, Surge and KL just had a podcast saying that they very briefly mentioned this, that Star Wars now officially has the most modes in any.
Wait,
in
the
any
new Star Wars?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Possibly. So I think we counted it.
I think there might be a caveat to that of standard modes.
I think it was
standard modes.
Okay, good. Because
right?
I'm counting the fact that when you collect on some of the Q branches, you go into a multi-ball afterwards.
Yep.
And I'm counting that as a mode because you have to survive it.
Oh no, I would say all of there's 6 Q branches.
Sure. Well, there's 6 Q branches, but after you complete a Q branch, 2 of them give you multi-ball modes.
Oh, it's more than 2.
Is it more than? Okay, so maybe it's 4. We
Yeah,
did
it's
go
4.
through and count it out. I'm almost positive.
So
it's
your
dropping.
multi-ball is separate from your Q like the Q branches that have a multi-ball. You're counting as 2
as a
different modes?
separate mode afterwards.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
But if
you
you don't have to play it if you don't complete the mode. And you can't bring anything else into it. It's not like you can combine something with the Q
George,
branch
I don't
mode.
have to play the multi-ball if I don't lock the 3rd lock.
Let me think about that. Did we count the multi-balls in? Because I don't know if it was needed for progression. All right.
No, it probably wasn't.
Maybe we go back and visit it and figure out what the number of total modes that you have to
3rd
play.
time's the charm, guys.
Yeah. The 3rd one.
We'll do six Bond episodes.
PB Pinball pointing out, in all of Pinball, I believe Harry Potter has the absolute most modes. And that makes sense because there are 6 years that you have modes associated with.
Sure. Serge was making a comment on the most modes from a Stern game. Yeah. Like other companies can go hog wild on this shit, but
Sure.
So we have if we're not talking like straight modes, I don't know how he's specifically defining this, but Bond has 24.
Plus the wizard modes.
Plus we're just talking straight modes here.
Okay.
So if you hit a right ramp, that's a mode. If you hit a side ramp, that's a mode. If you
the Q branch and whatever qualifies
the Q branch gets a little weird. Okay, so he might not be considering the Q branch a mode, but I think you could say that the Spectre weapons are easily enough a mode because
Q branch is very clearly identified in now the game's version of in the LCD as a requirement.
It's sure, but how you qualify and start your Q branch is each individual Q branch is gotten in a completely different way.
Sure.
Right? So that might be, but with your Spectre weapons, it's just spelling Spectre,
yeah,
and then hit the target.
Yeah.
So I think you could consider those modes.
Okay.
But so that would bring us up to 18. Yeah, 18 at the very least. If you're, it's 12 if you're just doing henchmen and villains. 18 if you're including Spectre, and if you want to go the whole kit and caboodle of modes, not mini wizard modes or anything like that,
Okay.
then we're up to 24 individual straight modes
Okay.
on this game. And they're all unique, which blows my freaking mind. Nothing feels similar to
Repetitive,
a different thing, and it all feels very theme integrated as well.
Yep. Lot of cheesy scenes that play out on the LCD. I think it turned into a great game, but how does it, well, with your experience at Pinball Jones,
for a while.
How does it work with casuals?
I wish I could ask one because they never play it.
Okay, so we're gonna say no on casuals.
Well, I mean, it's not because due to gameplay. It's just the theme of you only live twice. What the fuck is that? Like, it doesn't. I don't even know what. It's not even a generic alien thing or a generic.
Yeah, if you're just
medieval
able to
thing.
see this
It's-
and this,
yeah.
you can barely tell it's
Well,
007.
Yeah, you have to be looking really closely underneath the coin door to spot the 007, and that's if there's not a person standing in front of it.
Right. And Manu keying in as well, saying it's a low earner for them. So Free Gold Watch, Pinball Jones, it doesn't earn enough. To me, that says casuals are out. Casuals are choosing other games to play.
And I think it's strictly theme.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the gameplay at all.
So how is it then for tournaments?
It's fantastic for tournaments.
Yeah. I would agree. I love the fact that there's different ways to play it, different things to shoot for. I think most everyone goes for the wizard mode and bring in the first mini wizard. I don't know what to call that. What's the James Bond 007 mode? Everyone.
Bond, James Bond.
There you go. Bond, James Bond with a multiplier seems, I'm guessing, pretty universal. Everyone wants to hit that in a tournament, but after that,
Sure.
there's is there really a bunch of different ways to play it after that? Do you see people going for villains versus henchmen?
I mean, the way I play it is, I have. That's the nice thing is that there is a lot of choice on it. I don't know anybody who goes after henchmen because the side ramp is not super reliable / repeatable.
It could be such a tough shot.
Yeah. So there's sure do one of everything, which is your Bond, James Bond. So if you play the Bird One multi-ball, that's your 3 locks up the middle, and also your Jetpack multi-ball, that is your hit one shot under the upper flipper,
Yep.
aka the Scuba Steve shot, as I like to call it.
Yep.
And then do one left orbit to lock your ball and start Jetpack. Then you need one villain mode and one henchman mode. The henchman might be the one that you get stuck on if you can't
hit that shot.
hit that shot.
Yep.
Right? So where do you go after that? I would argue, I don't know. There's lots of ways I play this game. So if I happen to spell Spectre by hitting all of the targets behind the missile,
Yep.
then you'll have a light scrolling around in the center of the play field while your arrow is pointing at this stand-up target right in the middle there. You want to time your shot to where it lands on the shark. Down a little bit further, George.
Okay.
Those 6 lights. Yeah, those ones right there.
Oh, got it.
Yep. You want the shark.
Why the shark?
Because if you finish the shark, which is only 4 shots to finish it, it will give you an extra smart missile for every fresh ball.
Wow. Okay.
So if you get that on ball 1,
You get 2 smart missiles. 3, I guess.
yeah, and that's all in tournament play. But This game by default, if you find this on location, this game by default has 7 extra balls.
Right.
Typical for Stern is default 5, but because the licensor was so weird about their weirdly things and their weirdly numbers, most of your games get 5 extra balls. No, this one gets 7.
7.
007.
Okay, so this is good for tournament play and then progression. There's 24 modes.
Yeah,
There's some
I would
extra
argue that
things.
it should be good for casuals. It's just that the theme does not resonate. If people don't know what it is because it's an old 60s movie poster that they're just it's lost.
Yeah, and keep in mind, because I'm showing the
Okay.
picture here, you don't see the sides at
You do
a
not.
at a bar. You don't see the sides at all. You get to see this, the play field, and this. And if it's a bar, this is probably too dark to be able to read 007.
And typically those big black and white 007 logo on the screen, no.
No, it's not there.
It's
It's showing
not there.
Star Wars right now.
Yep. Yeah, this would do way better if it was N64 007. Like,
I'm sure it would.
yeah. Yeah, that would actually slap really fucking hard.
That I think would have done very well if
Maybe
it was
that
Nintendo
should be.
64.
Maybe we should make a new translate.
just the Nintendo
Yeah,
64.
the N64 007.
Yeah.
So even if people do recognize the theme for 007, though, they're still like, oh yeah, I don't. It's not Daniel Craig. I don't.
Yeah, because or it's not Pierce Brosnan if you grew up with that, or all the different
Like,
generations have their own
It's so
bonds.
far removed. So once again, I go to like the Bond 60th should have had all of the Sean Connery stuff on it, and the Cornerstone should have had all of the different
All of the bonds. Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. So how many more of these games do we have to go through?
Oh my god,
Right? We didn't make it very far.
not at all.
But I'm not upset with our progression. I think we hit some games that obviously we've spent a good amount of time on. So you have some great we have opinions. I don't know that they're good opinions, but we have opinions on those games.
We have 8 more.
8 more.
8 more. We can totally do 8 more. Wait, how many? Before I say we can do 8 more, how many did we get done tonight?
Because we're getting closer and closer to now, and we have all spent a lot of time on these last 8 games.
Today, 3. Okay, we did 8 tonight.
We did 8.
So,
Okay, so we should be able to finish things off next episode.
yeah. This kind of makes sense though because the Spike 2 games, the first half of it, they've been around for so long, like, and half of them, like I feel like we hadn't played. Like, how much have you played Batman 66? How much have you played Beatles?
Beatles, not a lot. Batman 66 I had owned for roughly 6 months.
Okay, how about Aerosmith?
Not much at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pinjamin pointing out what's left. Foo, Venom, Jaws, Wick, X-Men, Metallica Remastered, D&D, and Kong. And I've got tons of time on
Well done.
every single one of those games.
Yep, we've got a lot to talk about.
Stern will be at Spike 4 by the time we finish our Spike 2 walkthrough.
I mean, well, if Spike 3 is anything like Spike 1, yes, they will.
I didn't follow that analogy. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's too late or what. I just couldn't get it.
Well, Spike 1 didn't last very long.
Oh, okay. Got it. Spike 3 might be short-lived.
Spike 1 was pretty much Ghostbusters and Game of Thrones,
Oh, okay.
and that's it.
Very quick. They went straight to LCD.
Kind of. Well,
Yeah.
they just realized that it was like limited.
Sure.
In a way.
Well, I mean,
It was-
especially with JJP putting out
like-
those massive LCDs.
They were wanting to make a big step, and then they realized that step wasn't like big enough,
yeah.
kind of thing. It's like this has no longevity.
I'm curious, did you prep a dad joke for this evening?
Fuck.
I know I didn't prep a dad joke.
I mean, I have been thinking about doing a lot of has nothing to do with dad jokes, but I have been thinking about doing a lot of pinball parody songs.
Okay.
Thongs. Ooh.
Pinball parody thongs?
Yeah. No.
Okay, that's wildly different.
No. I don't know. You want to hear the latest one?
Yes, I would love to hear what your latest
Okay.
idea is.
All right.
Oh, wow. Are you singing it for us right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
cool. Let's hear it.
Well, you know my style of the songs I like to hear when I'm playing pinball. They're kind of a little attitude-y.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a banger from 2011. You're going down. My ball's on the flipper. I'm hitting scoops. I'm hitting rams. You're going down. My ball's on the flipper. I'm hitting scoops. I'm hitting rams. And that's all I got.
That's pretty good. And that was an incredibly popular song.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
We need to come up with a dad joke.
We can't. I mean, every episode ends with
That
a
was
dad
only
joke.
just embarrassing.
My phone is one of the cameras right now.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would be looking. It's not like I have a computer right over there that I could go type into.
Great. Going to countryliving.com for this shit.
Anu says flipper.
Yeah.
Flipper.
I need to flesh out the rest of that song though,
Yeah.
because
no,
I feel like
it's got real potential.
it could. I don't know what, like, usually we find a dad joke that fits with shit.
Benjamin gave us one. I could just read that out loud.
Benjamin, oh. I love it. Yeah, do it.
Paul, why don't pinball machines ever lie?
I don't know why.
Because they tilt towards honesty.
Lovely.
Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. And I know on these pinball podcasts or vodcasts, we're not as responsive to chat as normal. That it bothers me. But at the same time, the goal is to create something that we can edit out and turn into a podcast. That podcast gets published to just about everything. So feel free to look up Basement Dad's Pinball Podcast. We'll have an episode out, I think, Thursday or Friday this week. And this episode here will be going out probably early to mid next week. And then we'll have Paul back over here at next week before I head out for Expo to record and get part 3 published. So that way when I come back, we can do a retro on Pinball Expo 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think there's gonna be enough other people out there doing like what's your prep? How are you prepping for Expo?
Oh, sure.
What are you gonna do? Like, there's plenty of years of that kind of stuff. Go and play if you're going to Expo, I would encourage you to not spend a ton of time, if you can help it, playing any new games.
Okay.
Not any brand new games. You go there, you go to the free play area, you bring some dollars and some friends with you, and that's where you spend your day. Until you either run out of dollars or you run out of friends.
I love it. All right, y'all. Thank you again so much. This is Basement Dad's Pinball Podcast. You've heard from Paul, not only a fantastic remake that is pinball focused of a late 2000 aughts, I think is what that's referred to, song. You've also got that fantastic dad joke, and finally a don't play new games at Pinball Expo. We'll see you guys later. Thank you. Speed.